right now what I'm going to be working on is this head unit area here. Got a drawing we're working from. I'm going to make up a template that's going to basically lay over top of this. I have a bend in the middle where the peak is going to be for the chrome strip, and it's going to transition from this upper surface down to this lower surface where we're going to have the HVAC controls. It's quite a small unit. It's nothing huge. It's an Android style head unit. It'll probably be sitting about there. So it's in line with your gauges over there. Okay, enough chit-chatting. Let's get some cardboard out. I'll lay it over top, and then we're going to start playing with a few lines to get this, this shape established over here. I don't want to start marking this up. It's going to get really busy very quickly. So we'll just get some cardboard laid over top, tape it in place, and start playing on the cardboard itself. So what I'm doing right now is I'm laying out the basic proportions. I need to bend this like that. Should be about right here. We're going to center this over this space that we have here, this feature line, and get some masking tape, tape that in place. Just going off our drawing that we have here and playing with a few lines. Okay, that's going to sit right in there like that. Just want to make sure that happy with the shape, because once we cut this hole out, there's no going back. Let's leave that on there for now. I think we may work on the center section, on the center console first before we cut this up. I want to take a look at it for a few minutes. Oh, hey guys, just putting a few final marks here on this top section for the instrument cluster before we take things out. Just want to make sure that things are lining up properly. So we're on to hour 63 of this dash modification here. Nope, actually 68. Hour 68 of the dash modification. We've got the top face done here. We've got the bottom section installed. Everything's pinned on screws. We have the end covers installed on both sides. And I got some of this center console started here. We managed to reuse a few pieces from the old console, such as these buttons for the system information display that comes up on the dash. We got those relocated into the front here instead of under the armrest. And I fabricated a piece on this driver's side here that basically connects everything right from front to back. We still need to finish off the passenger side, create that allowance around the e-brake handle, and create the flange for the center storage compartment. And as soon as we get this center console wrapped up, we can take the dash out and cut this center section out for the head unit. I don't want to do any cutting in here and splash the windshield with any sparks. So we'll do that outside on the bench, and then we'll get the flanges turned and then have the unit reinstalled. And then we'll make up the bezel that goes in and mount it on screws, take everything out again, and do the final welding outside the car. But overall, things are looking pretty good. What do you guys think? Let us know in the comments. Okay, let's get to work and finish up this console. Alright guys, so with the dash out of the car, I was able to cut this hole out of the top section and the bottom section here. And I started rolling the flanges over. And then going from our template that I created earlier, I created this bezel here. So basically overlaid over a piece of sheet metal, added extra material around the perimeter, tapering from about 1/2 inch here to about 1 inch at the maximum point here in the middle, and cut out the next stage and started forming this up. Now this is what's going to fit within that cavity there. And you can see on the back here, I've already gone ahead and created all the little bracketry to hold the head unit and the HVAC controls. Right now on the table here, things are going to move around and I can't really have an accurate representation of what it needs to be in the car. So we'll get it back in the car and start fine-tuning this piece into that opening. Now it might have to be taken out again, which I'm pretty sure will be, to open this up a bit more. I think we're a little bit tight for this, but I want to make sure that the angle is correct. The other thing I did is go ahead and create the location for the ignition switch with all the fasteners in behind. And once this is back in the car, we test fit that. I'm going to start locating the other features like the trunk release and the fog light switches. Alright guys, well, the dash section is installed and I was looking at a few details. This end piece has to be trimmed back. I think I mentioned that earlier. And just looking at the brakes and the upholstery. This top here and the very top section, that's going to go all black. I don't want any reflections in the windshield. But the bottom here, we're going to go a bit lighter. We're going to go with a kind of a reddish color. And that's going to carry on into the center console and on the door panel, this panel on the side here. The main section is going to go black, and that's going to carry over from the center section and into the door as well as on the end here. And I'll probably take off about 3/4 of an inch so we have some black that comes down and basically shows up when you're looking from the front here. Now, for the moment of truth, let's see how this center section fits. Now, this is the first time fitting it. I did install the HVAC controls, but I was a bit concerned as to how much depth we actually have here for the actual heater box. We have a taper going on, so this might actually, oh yeah, it sneaks in just like that. If we can get that to drop down just a little bit, that's going to be good. And well, we do have to enlarge the hole in the dash, which isn't a problem, but we can go up, and that's fine. See, the lower we go with this heater control unit, the tighter it gets down there. We have, I'd say, 1.5 inches at this end on the left side, and 1 inch, and our plug is on the left side, so we have plenty of space for the wiring for that. So that came out really good. The other thing we have to consider is the fact that when we upholster the top and bottom sections, this area has to be removable. We need to be able to disassemble everything here. And it'd be nice if you could install the whole dash in one piece, but it has to be functional and it has to be serviceable. Let me try one more thing. This is going to sit just in there like that, and I think that looks really good. A heck of a lot better than before. Visibility wise, it's in line with his gauges, so he can glance across, you have your maps, your whatever. It's in a lot better position than down here. I'm going to pull this out, put it off in a safe spot. Uh-oh. Yeah, here we go. I got it. Just looking in terms of order of installation as well. The little wheel in my brain's going around. Okay, so if we install this as a third piece, so 1, 2, and 3 as I've been installing it, it's not going to work. But if we install the top section, slide this unit up inside, and there may be fasteners, they may not be fasteners. The leather is going to come down to this bezel here. This bezel will be painted black, be a gloss black bezel. So that'll slip in from behind. We may have a fastener here that'll get covered up by a piece of chrome trim. There's chrome going in here, or aluminum trim that we'll polish to a bright finish. That's going to go in here to cover up these fasteners. So put this in first, put this in second, and then this bottom section comes up inside and covers up all of that, holding everything in place. And I think that's going to be it's going to work out quite well. Let me put that aside there. And just because of the way things are working out, we might actually just put a fastener tab on this bezel piece. We'll put the fasteners right in here. And that way it's a perfectly clean perimeter. And our chrome pieces will just take off from here, extend out to here, and the same on the driver's side there. We'll raise everything up, open things up a little bit here, and trim things up, and let's try it all again in about 10 minutes. Maybe 15. Let's see, that's working out quite well. One nice little package. So you have the head unit, be fastened to these flanges here, and then we're going to take and clean this up around the perimeter. This is just a first rough cut, and we'll fill in these corners, address that, and actually these flanges might actually tip out here, so that it gives us a place to fasten it into this channel here. It's like one giant jigsaw puzzle, except you get to create all the pieces. Let's get that bezel mounted in place, see how that looks. It slides up underneath. Okay, that's fitting up well. Letting the screw do the work. I'm not bearing down on it because I don't want to push the windshield out. So let the screw cut its own hole. Okay, that's fitting. I have to adjust those tabs a little bit back here. Tighten that up. See, one screw and it's holding. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the second screw in here because everything is aligned where we need it to be. Get this little guy in here. Clamp the tab in place in such a way I can still drill the hole. See this? Even though it's loose right now, I mentioned, once the leather all goes in, this will slide up into place, and this bezel will be nice and snug. These little spot welds will take care of that afterwards. All right. Let's see how the head unit looks. I wonder if I can pop it out. Yeah, I can get it out. Once we drop it in place. All right. It has another 1/4 inch or so to drop down into the seat. But overall, that's looking really nice. Don't you agree? Get the controls here. Okay, I'm getting excited now. We're going to get the bottom section in place. Actually, we'll take that out first, get the bottom section in place, and then finish up around the top there and get those installed. Trim up whatever we need to trim up, and I think at that point we can start pulling sections out. Get the defroster vent inserted into the top piece, cut the hole for the heads-up display there, and then get the center console in. All right. Looking okay. I have to get the end screw in place. Okay, that's all pulled in nice. Now my little problem, okay, actually not a problem anymore. I get the vice grip, clamp this side here, and our ignition switch seems to be fitting well. I'm happy with that. Nothing's binding up. The panel's resting in the proper spot. All right. Got my fingers crossed. Okay. It's all pulled in nice. Okay, we have a space there, and that's only because we don't have the bottom screws in place. So let's get them in. Everything fits together as one big puzzle piece, and if you don't put it together in the proper order, well, it's not going together. I'm gonna have to write a service manual for this car. This flange here, these are nice and tight. This flange here, I gotta roll the flange that's on the stereo, or on the bezel, stereo bezel, sorry, up, make it tighter around here. Aside from that, I'm really pleased as to how this is coming out. All right, guys, let's go in for a closer look. Just watch your fingers, a few sharp edges still lingering around. So the head unit's installed, the HVAC controls are installed. That's pretty much all wrapped up there. It's looking a lot better than it was. It's quite a transformation from before. So we still need to finish off the cover for there, for the gauges, get that finalized. There's a piece that goes in behind that joins up to that surface that has a flange that the cover bolts down to. So we need to finish that off yet. And down below here, I finally scribed this excess material so we can trim that off next time this lower section comes out. And you can see the center console has been installed. We still need to finish off the storage compartment and the door. There's going to be a stainless door that goes down and around and it flows out and gives a little bit of character there. So that needs to be finished off. Those information system buttons that were in the storage compartment back here, move them up over there. And that big hole, that's a charging pad for the phone. So I can get that kind of finalized there and install the pad afterwards. But Things are really coming together. Oh yeah, we need to finish off the speaker grills here. There's one more piece that needs to go in down below. But aside from that, the interior is done in terms of the main dash section. Then it's onto the doors. So thanks a lot for watching, guys. If you like what you see, give us a thumbs up. We really appreciate that. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Take care, guys.